That was awful. What's up, everyone? We're going to do a product review today because I blew up the clutch on my F800 and I'm waiting on parts for that. Waiting on parts to do the forks of the Grom. And because it's snowing outside right now in the end of March, it is spring and it is snowing, so we can't go ride. So we're going to do a review. This is the Alpinestars Domino Tech Hoody. I bought it in March of 2021. So this is a 2-year review for it on me, or for me. I bought it looking for a 2-season jacket, I would say, so spring and fall. During the winter, I have a heavy coat I commute in. During the summer, my commute is so short, I don't want a heavy jacket, and this fit the bill for those, I would say probably 50 degree to 75 degree, maybe 80 degree days. We have cold winters here, we have hot summers here, so this is really, like I said, spring and fall. Over the course of 2 years, it has held up extremely well. I'll go into a little bit of the wear points. I'm going to do some close-ups a little bit later, but just want to give a quick overview, and then we'll highlight those. So, quick overview. Very much a not necessarily motorcycle-looking jacket, which was a big appeal for me. I work in an office setting, and sometimes I have to go in between buildings, and if I'm riding in wearing a motorcycle jacket, I don't want to walk around with curved elbows and all that jazz in between meetings. So this really fit the bill for me to have protection in the shoulders and in the elbows without looking like I just hopped off a crotch rocket. A quick spin around of it. You have really not a whole lot of Alpinestars branding, which I really appreciate, going again with that kind of office vibe. There is a logo across the back by this rear vent, and it is reflective. I don't know how much of that you can see. You do have a hood. It's called a hoodie. One note, it is a soft shell. It is not a hoodie, sweatshirt hoodie. It is a soft shell with a hood that is non-removable. One of my biggest gripes about it is the non-removable nature of the hood. It does have a little snap on there, but if you're going down the freeway, you're still going to catch wind in that hood. The front, one main zipper. My biggest complaint is this main zipper. You have 2 side pockets on either side that Alpinestars has some fancy name for, but that work really well in ventilation on warmer days. Aside from that, you have 2 elastic straps to kind of rein in that hood a little bit, but also to kind of help tuck this down when you have it a little bit unzipped, which is kind of nice. What else is on the front? A little bit more Alpinestars branding. When we go inside, you do have a waterproof jacket or waterproof pocket in here. Let's see, the waist, or sorry, not the waist, the wrists have a Velcro closure to them so you can cinch them down. I don't know how well this will get picked up, but it also has a little bit of a hood to it. So the bottom of your arm is cut shorter than the top, almost like a brim to it, which is really nice for covering that gap over your gloves. And then down at the very bottom, you do have elastic on either side to help kind of taper it in a little bit as well. One last thing on the outside, the back is cut much longer than the front, and I love it. Really helps if your shirt usually rides up while you're riding to just keep everything back there covered, especially if you're in a hunched over stance at all. That really helps quite a bit. Let's see, before we take it inside, one thing I will note is it comes with BioLite level 1 shoulders and arm pads. So that is Alpinestars CE level 1 rated, whatever. I almost immediately swapped this out because it is extremely stiff. It is not exactly form-fitting, It would go on your shoulder and then stick out kind of awkwardly. I swapped it out for D30 because D30 is a lot more flexible. I went with level 2 climb pads I would be real intrigued to see what their new Ghost D30 would feel like in here. But I do have D30 at the shoulders and at the elbows. One thing we haven't talked about yet was price. I paid $200 for this 2 years ago. I have it pulled up on Redzilla, and it looks like it is $229. So it's not a cheap jacket by any means, but it's not, you know, a $500, $600, $700 jacket either. Abrasion resistance, probably not the best, but impact with the armor in there isn't bad at all either. Inside, we'll see how long I can go without this falling off the hook. I don't think very long. Oh my god, the zipper. Okay, there we go. The zipper makes me feel dumb every time I use it. Inside you do have a back protector pad. Like I said, I swapped it out for D30, and I use this guy in there. I usually ride with a backpack, and that contributed to most of the wear on the jacket itself. So I don't normally have this in, because with a backpack on there it just gets a little weird. But if I'm just riding jacket only, I'll throw it in real quick. No zippers or anything, just slide it up and down. To get to the rest of your pads, you have to go through this little zipper at the bottom. So to come up the back, over to the arm, and down the arm, to put a pad into a little pocket in there, can be pretty tedious. You can't really see what you're doing it by feel, you don't know. It's a pain. So if you are buying this to swap armor regularly between a few jackets or whatever, I have another jacket that I wear regularly that I bought a second set because I didn't want to swap the D30 over and over and over again. So. One thing I haven't touched on is there is a little bit of just a nice cotton neck liner here that helps wind from getting down your back. Like I said, the hood, not detachable. There is a nice mesh liner on the inside, and that really helps it breathe. I think I gave it a rating of like 50 to 75 degrees. Commuting, if I was going full down the road, maybe that range might be 55 to 75 rather than 50. It's not the warmest. It doesn't have real thermal mass on it at all. It's just kind of a hard shell, some mesh on the inside, just to keep the wind off a little bit. So I mentioned I have some wear spots on here. One of the main ones is at your neck opening. I really don't know how well this will show up on camera, but it's just a little bit faded along there. Normal wear, like I said, I've been using it 6 months out of the year, commuting for about 2 years now, so a little bit wear is to be expected. This hood I really wish wasn't there. It does help give it a casual vibe, but if you're riding down at any speed, it's going to catch some wind. And then the other big wear mark, I think, is all from my backpack. So you have a little bit of that white ghosting here and here. I didn't mention it earlier, but this is a nice vent to pull air out with a seam down the middle. And that's really about the most of it. I do have some wear down at the lower zipper, which again, the worst zipper ever. Okay, I am about 6'2", and probably about 230, 235 pounds right now. I wear right now about a 36 or 38 inch waist, and I like to joke that I am 80% torso. My legs are not very long, but I do have a long torso. I talked about that extra room in the back, and I think my long torso really can speak to how nice that is. I mentioned how much I hate this zipper. It is nice where it is a double hole, so if you have, you're hunched over your tank and you don't want to scratch it, you can zhuzh it up a little bit, or whatever you may need to zhuzh that zipper up. But actually closing this zipper is the biggest pain. If you bought this, my biggest word of advice is just don't touch it when you're zipping it. Just put it in and go good. If you try and touch it, you're going to misalign it, and then it's not going to want to go. So It has broken in some, and that helped. So if you just bought it and you're complaining about it, it will get slightly better, but it is not a good zipper to begin with, which is kind of sad because it's YKK, which usually pro level. But anyways, like I said, the little extra flap here is real nice when you are riding along. Helps keep that top of your wrist covered. If you have a watch, helps keep that covered. Velcro pockets. You do have two side pockets that are nice and cozy. Okay. I don't really know what else to say. This is probably 15 minutes of rambling by now, so we'll end it there. Thanks for watching. Hopefully next week I have parts for bikes to do more bike things. See you later. I forgot one thing, of course. Water resistant, not waterproof. Slight downpours coming home from work. It's been great. Would not want to wear it in a multi-hour rainstorm. Now I'm done. Thanks.